Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the feature race at the Big A on Friday. It's been a staple every Thanksgiving week for as long as I can remember. It's the Grade 3 Fall Highweight Handicap. Let's take a look at this field. It's race number 3 at Aqueduct on Friday with a $200,000 purse. 6 brave horses will take on the highweights in the Fall Highweight, Mike. 134 pounds. Durant the 4, Win for Gold the 5.
Yeah, I listen. I've always thought this was a pretty fun race. I don't necessarily think it means anything anymore as far as the weights go. I still think this is an interesting race, though. A bunch of horses coming in here, Dan, in really good form.
Very good point. You took the words out of my mouth. And a few of these horses have a little bit of speed. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. They believe this race favors front runners, with the 4 Durant likely the speed of the speed. But Win for Gold, when he breaks out of the gate, has been quick. And I think the key to the race is whether Rodney really is aggressive from post position 2.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not sure that I agree with this pace projector as far as, favoring front runners. Maybe it favors front runners, Dan, because the 3 horses they have up there, they just might be the three of the best horses, or 2 of the 3 best horses. Not sure they're going to go that slow, though, because Durant is fast, Rodney is fast, and he's drawn to the inside. And Win for Gold, listen, I know he's up in class here. He mangled the break last time, but when he gets out of the gate, he's fast.
And if this pace does heat up, you might want to consider a runner like the number 1 Bold Journey, going out for trainer Bill Mott. He has the fastest LP designation over his Chicklet, which means he has the fastest Timeform US late pace rating based on this victory against second level allowance horses at Belmont at the Big A on October the 12th, where he sat a pretty good trip towards the inside, but he had to alter course outside in the stretch. It takes him a while to change leads, but once he does, he goes after this pace setter and collars him on a line.
Yeah, into alter course there past mid-stretch. That's not easy to keep your momentum up doing that. So it takes him a while, but I think he's pretty game to get the job done. And you can see Jose Ortiz just sort of pushing him to the wire. He's not all in here. This was a good performance from this horse. I just like him overall, Dan. I think he fits really well in here. I'm a little conflicted. I still, to this day, I don't understand the idea behind switching him to turf earlier this year. I don't get it. I know that he ran really well in those 2 races. But I think he's way better on dirt. His last 2 races are both really good performances.
The number 2, Rotten Knee, is a very solid New York bred, and maybe last time was the time, though, earning a 100 buyer speed figure in the Hudson, contested over a muddy track. This was a race where he made a very early move on the second turn to take over the lead through a fast pace. On the far outside, you see Win for Gold, who missed the break by about 5 lengths, tried to get into it with a wide move and understandably flattened out, but they were aggressive with Rotten, and it paid off because the wire came in the nick of time.
Yeah, he's not finishing super strong in this race, but he did go right up after this pace from the start. He took over very early in this race, and he still lasted to the wire. Overall, it's a pretty strong performance for a horse who will occasionally step up with a really strong performance, and then sometimes he just won't run quite as well, Dan. That's the only issue that I have with him. He's going to be a short price in here, and I know that he can win. But this pace is supposed to be competitive, and I just don't know how much I trust him at a super short price.
Cowan is entered in this race. He's also cross-entered on Thanksgiving Day at the fairgrounds. He got the better of Durant 2 starts back over a sloppy track. Then he seemed to act up pretty badly before the Bold Ruler. He pushed the pace and he tired. He's that sort of horse, though. He can get a little bit fidgety.
Yeah, he can. I thought he was in a little bit tough in this race. He's going to be a big price, though. He did just pull off a really big upset 2 starts back when he got a perfect trip and beat Durant on a wet track. I think he's in tough here, but maybe things will fall his way again because this pace could get competitive in front of him.
While a horse like Bold Journey is only picking up 3 pounds off his most recent race, Durante's picking up 13 off this win in the Bold Ruler. And in this race, he was able to control the pace. He cut the corner, turning into the stretch. He was just better than this field.
Yeah, that's how it looked, right? I mean, I didn't think he went, a super slow pace in here, Dan. They came out of the gate running. They wanted the lead. And when a couple of horses tried to challenge him to the turn, he just wouldn't let him get into the race here. And it's just another really good performance from this horse. David Jacobson has this horse seeing dead red right now, and he's just going to go right to the top in here and see what happens.
Win for Gold is the number 5. Again, he blew the brakes so terribly in the Hudson and then made a mid-race move into a fast pace while wide. You can just give him that performance in the Hudson. Prior to that race, he had reeled off 3 straight performances where he was right up close to the pace and he finished strongly. This post position gives Kendrick Carmouche plenty of options, and if he breaks, he'll be right there when they turn for home.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's just been in really good form. I mean, he's always shown up, but he was one of those horses who would very rarely win races, Dan. I think he won his debut, and then he was like 2 for 16 after that with a bunch of seconds and thirds. But just recently, especially when they got him to Saratoga, win, a really good performance last time in the Hudson. This horse is in the best form of his life right now.
Sir Alfred James is a horse you have to appreciate simply because he dances every dance. He travels wherever and really doesn't need to have one racetrack to be successful. He's a millionaire. Thought he looked good at Laurel 3 back. He ran well there 2 back. They tried him at Churchill Downs in a stake. They were very aggressive with him and he paid the price. Maybe at this point in his career, he's sort of a level beneath these sort of horses, but on his best day, I could see him cracking the number here at a price.
Me too. I think he's a nice fit against these horses. And he's a horse who can be forward, but doesn't need the lead to be effective. So that's another sort of mark in his favor. His good race is plenty good enough to beat this field.
Here's our top picks for the Fall Highweight Handicap. You're going with Bold Journey with the chance that this pace heats up. I have a feeling Durant is going to try to slip away at the 3/16, and then it's all up to whether he could hold off the closures. And the form he's in right now, I really don't want to bet too much against him, but you'll get a price with Bold Journey.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that this pace does get competitive, and I think it's kind of supposed to. Dan Durante's really fast, but there are other horses with speed in here. I'm going to hope they hook up in front of Bold Journey.
Same super, different order. 1-4-2-5 for Mike, 4-2-5-1 for me, and the Fall Highway at the Big A on Friday. Good luck.